All right. Welcome to the Chemicalman Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and here I will be talking about things related to chemical plants, refineries, and everything in between. I want to make this a place to talk about who's hiring, what to look for in job interviews, and just talk about work-life balance. Today, let's take the opportunity to say why we want to get into a refinery or a chemical plant. There's many reasons why people want to get into it. I got into it almost 30 years ago because I felt like it was an easier job to get into. It wasn't as big back then as it is now. Some people get into it for different reasons. I would love to know why people get into it. Some people get into it because maybe their family is in it. Some people get into it because they look at it as a good job opportunity. Some people get into it because they look at it as a career. It's definitely a career, and you will make money. You will work long hours. You will work holidays. You'll work weekends when your buddies are out fishing. But in the long run, you will make a good career. You will have good benefits, and you will make a good life choice in the long run. So, what I would like for people to do, comment below. Let's talk. Let's open up. Let's hear why you're thinking about it. If you're in the field, tell me how long you've been in the field, and so forth. And these are just the things that I would like to discuss. Now, having said all that, let's talk about working in a shift work, chemical plant, refinery, or even contractor life. It's not the best life, but it is a good life. It can be a very good life. You get paid good money. You have great benefits as far as insurance and 401k and everything down the line on there. You can work all the overtime you want if it's available. Uh, as your seniority grows in these places, you can get off on certain holidays. Why the young ones have to work it. All depends on what you do it. I know every chemical plant, every refinery is different than the one that I work at. So, but most part, everything's kind of really the same. It's basically the same people, the same atmosphere, just different names and what so have you on that. But let's see. So let's get back to working. So I've been in the business for almost 30 years, and I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of people go. I've seen a lot of people come. I've seen a lot of people just not be able to make it. I've seen people in the salary position think that they could do what we do in the chemical industry. I've seen people come in, try it, didn't last but maybe a year, went back to salary. I've seen people come in because this is what they thought they wanted to do and then immediately realize, man, I got to have a Monday through Friday job. That doesn't work well with some people. Shift work doesn't work well with some people, so they have to end up either going back to their old job or they try to promote within and get to a Monday through Friday job. That way they can be off shift work, be home with their family, and so forth. Now, shift work's not the easiest, but it does give you a lot of time off during the week so that you could do things with your family. You could do things with your kids. So if you have a lot of baseball games during the week and you're off, then you can do that versus other jobs. If you want to go have lunch with your kids at school, you can do that because of the rotating schedule. If you're working nights or days, you have opportunity to do that. It can make it real easy on doing stuff with the family if you do that, especially in the summertime. If your wife doesn't work and the kids are out of school and you're on your 7-day long change, well, that's just 7 days you and your family can pick up, go have a vacation, and nobody's out anywhere. Your wife doesn't have to worry about taking off for vacation because she's already off and stuff like that. What other? Shift work can be hard, whether you're rotating between days and nights. If you're not used to it, your body gets a little weird on it when you're working at night, and you should be sleeping, and then you're sleeping during the day when you should be working. It takes some time to get used to that. Like I said, I've almost done it for 30 years. I've gotten a good reputation of how I can control my sleep. You sleep when you can. When you get home in the morning off work, best thing to do, go straight to bed, unless you get as much sleep as you can. So when you go back to work that night, you can do it all over again. When you work days, it's best to try to find a good happy medium to go to bed at a certain time on there, so you can get up in the morning and go to work and on that. I know where I work, we do shift change between 2:30 and 3 in the mornings. Some other places do shift change between 6 and 7. It all depends on where you go. 2:30 to 3:30 is really early. Some people can't handle that. I didn't like it. I like it more so now because when I get off of work, I'm usually home and my son's home right out of school. Within 15, 20 minutes, he's home, and then we can do what we need to do, and I don't have to worry about any of that. Where if I was working the 6 to 6 or 7 to 7, it'd be kind of a weird rush. Like either the wife would have to get home early, or I'd have to use somebody to watch my kid for a while until I got home. So I've gotten to where I like the 2:30 to 3. Some people don't like it. I do. Let's see. Holidays. Holidays are good for shift work. You get paid more money on holidays during your Christmas, your New Year's, and all those stuff too. On that too. So that's a good aspect of working in the industry too. Is you can make more money on your holidays and on that. The best thing to do is when you get into a career and you get into working this shift work, max out your 401k. Do what you can. That way you're not working this for 40 years. If you get into your 20s, you can retire by your 55 or actually less, depending on how you've done your research and how you've done all your 401k and all your retirement. That's really the goal, is to get in and get out fast and live a happy life and be healthy on there. Let's see, what else we can talk about on this. So the other thing to mention is when you're looking for a job, sometimes it's good. You want to go to the places that probably pay the most, and I get that. But if you're starting out and you don't have any experience, sometimes the best place to get experience is some of your smaller plants, like your batch plants, or the ones that, they don't make as much, but in the long run, you're getting your experience, you're getting your foot in the door, you're getting everything you kind of need to see if you like it, you don't like it. So when you want to go apply for the bigger plants, you have that on your resume on there because you have your experience. If you went to school, you have your school on there. And not all plants and not all refineries require school. Some of them require school, some of them require experience. Some will require military background over experience or school. So it all really just have to look at what they're hiring for. But if you can get into a smaller plant and start off small, work your way up, get your experience, and then go for some of the bigger refineries on there. If you can get in the bigger refinery, that is a plus, because once you get in there, you can see how then you can start maxing out your 401k, start making your money right off the bat, and then 30 years down the line, be done and be out on there. So this is really kind of the first just intro, the episode, the very first one that I'm trying to work on here. So I will have more episodes out. I will have more things to talk about as far as like work and different things. But I wanted to get a little introduction, tell people what I'm here for. If you have any questions, I will link my email below. Hit me up on the email. If I have a chair right here to my left, I would love for people to come on the show and talk. Tell me your experience working out there. Tell me how many years you've been there. Even share funny stories of what you've seen out there, and just even cooking ideas of cooking for different people on the different shifts. I would love to have people in here. Even your spouse, if you have a spouse that would love to come in here, because I'd love to hear it from their side. If my husband or my wife works in the plant, so I do XYZ when he's at work, or I'm home with the kids all the time. I would love to hear all those stories, and I think everybody else would too, because this is a life, and there's a lot of people that do this work, and if there's communities out there that we can share and talk and get the ball rolling on all this stuff, then we can have a great time. Anyway, so let me know in comments. Send me an email on there if you were someone that liked to come sit in here in the chair and have a talk and tell me your life story. Let me know, please. And I want to say thank you. I hope we can get more of these out, and you have a good time, and peace out.